Hi, I'm Mimi, and this is A Side of Grandma, where we dish out new stories all the time for you to enjoy. Come sit with me and listen while we talk about Just Big Enough by Mercer Mayer. Tells you a little bit about the story, so let's read this first. What's so great about being little? When it means all the big kids take your seat on the bus, eat all of the cupcakes, and won't let you play football. Little Critter wants to grow up and quickly, so he builds a growing machine and eats almost all his vegetables, but doesn't grow an inch. What's a critter to do? Just when things seem hopeless, Little Critter's grandpa shows that the being big doesn't always mean being the best. I like that idea. Just big enough. That looks like his mom, and this must be Little Critter. Every morning on my way to school, I always sit in the same seat on the school bus. But this morning, oh, here comes the bus. A big kid took my seat. "Excuse me," I said, "you're sitting in my seat." The big kid didn't move. I guess he didn't hear me. Do you think that was true, or do you think he's just ignoring him? At recess, I wanted to play football with the big kids, but they said I couldn't play because I was too small. At lunch, the big kids took all the cupcakes. They laughed when I said they had to share. They told me the cupcakes were just for them. "I wish I were bigger," I said to my friends. They nodded. "I bet there are lots of ways to grow," I said. After school, my mom measured me. "How can I make myself grow?" I asked Mom. "Eat your vegetables," she said. "That'll make you grow strong." So at dinner, I ate almost all my spinach and a whole bunch of carrots. "Am I bigger?" I asked Mom. "Not yet," she said. Later, I asked Dad, what would make me grow? "Exercise," he said. So I did jumping jacks and sit-ups, push-ups, and I ran around and around. After all that exercise, I didn't get any bigger, but I sure got tired. At night, I couldn't sleep, so I read a comic book, and that's when I got a great idea. The next morning, I asked Dad for some wood and some glue. Mom gave me tinfoil, and little sister let me have a jar of her glitter. "What are you making?" asked little sister. "A growing machine," I said. "Huh? What? Never heard of that." I worked on the growing machine all morning. When it was finished, I sprinkled glitter on it so it sparkled like the one in the comic book I had read. I made a helmet out of tinfoil. Then I put on my helmet and climbed the growing machine. I sat in the growing machine all afternoon. I even ate my lunch there. When it became dark, Dad said it was time to come home. "Did I grow?" I asked. Dad shook his head and said, "Not yet." "Maybe I shouldn't sleep in the growing machine." "Maybe I should," I said. Dad didn't think that was such a good idea. The next day I went to Grandma and Grandpa's farm. "What's the matter, Little Critter?" asked Grandpa. I told Grandpa about the big kids and how I was trying to get big so that I could do the things the big kids did. Grandpa took me out to the meadow. "Look at those two horses," he said. "Which one do you think is the fastest?" "The big one," I said. Grandpa let the big horse and the little horse loose. They started to run across the field. And do you know which one was the fastest? The little one. The next day at school, the big kids said again that I couldn't play football because I was too small. I started to get mad. I challenge you to a relay race, I said. The big kids against the little kids. The big kids laughed and they said, okay. The whole school came to watch the race. And you know what? The little kids won. So I guess sometimes being small is just big enough. I like that. Well, thank you for visiting A Side of Grandma. If you like, you can like, comment, or even subscribe. Come back again for another story. Bye now.